Hello and welcome to Anthony's Brick Build, and today we'll be going over the Venator class Republic attack cruiser given the set number 75367. 5,374 pieces are included in this set. This is an 18 plus box. As you see on the front, we have the beautiful UCS Venator Lego down the left, Star Wars and Disney down in the right, Ultimate Collector Series in the top right, and of course, the Venator Class Republic Attack Cruiser logo up there. So in this video, we'll be going over every nitty-gritty detail about the UCS Venator and all the stuff inside the box, and also all about the box too. We'll be going over all the sides of the box, even the bottom. So before we go on, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Turn notifications button on if you have not already, and let's go take a detailed look at the box. Alright, so I put the Venator on my turntable so I can spin it around to show you guys. So on the front of the box, of course, we have the UCS Venator pictured on the black backdrop with some blue coming out on the sides. We'll be turning it over to this view where we have it in a different language, probably Spanish. And then as we go back here, we see the rear of the UCS Venator and then some information of like where it was made and all that cool stuff. And then, yes, this is Spanish. As we come back here, we have Lego Star Wars up here with the dimensions of the UCS Venator, 43 inches long and 12.5 tall. Lego is in this corner, and as we move around the Venator on the back of the box, we see that there's two stands holding up the box, and you can see the engines back there as well, the red bridges, and of course, probably the highlight from on this set is Captain Rex. So that is really cool that Captain Rex is in here. And also moving down, we have some real life images of the Venator. This will be the Jedi lead Venator that houses Jedi on it. So that's why it has the red bridges. And then we see some cool images like the gunship coming out in the repair yard on Coruscant. And I believe this image is one in the very first episode of the Clone Wars, or I think it's season 1. And then one quick thing, we do have the Republic gunship microform in there. And then this side, we have Lego Star Wars UCS Venator. We have that picture nose first on the box with Star Wars, the Clone Wars 20th anniversary, Ultimate Collector Series over here, and the greebling on the front still continues down to the bottom. And now as we move to the top of the box, we have the Venator pictured in a different way. And this is probably, I don't know, French. That looks French to me. Lego Star Wars, and then Lego up here. So with the box out of the way, and before we get into the unboxing experience, let's see how heavy it is by putting it on the scale. So with the UCS Venator on the scale, it weighs 21.8 pounds. So that is a really heavy Lego set. Now let's get into the unboxing. Alright, now for the unboxing, we're going to be opening up the Venator. So we'll be going down seal 1, seal 2, there we go, and seal 3. So now we got it open. And now we will be opening it up. You guys have this black box on the inside. And then we'll be opening up to reveal some black boxes. So we're gonna open them up like this, or on second thought, I'll cut to me with all the boxes taken out. Alright, so opening up the UCS Venator, as you just saw, we have these amazing box art images of the actual Venator from Revenge of the Sith. So that is just amazing. So that is really cool. We have two boxes, box 1 and box 2. So we're moving on this side, and we do have some more images on this side. Oh, does that look good? Look at that. Oh yeah, that looks really nice with Coruscant in the background, the Jedi starfighters up front, and you can see some of the Separatist ships blowing up in the distance with the invisible hand as well. So that is really, really cool. So I'm going to open up these two boxes and pull out all the bags, and we'll count and see how many bags are in the UCS Venator. Alright, so for the UCS Venator, we have 48 numbered bags with 2 unnumbered bags. Including those are these Technic wheel parts, and then these kind of like power miner elements right here. So there is a lot of bags for 40 in total, like I said, with 5,374 pieces divided among them. And then we have our 4 instruction manuals sitting on top of the boxes. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we also have our sticker sheet right here. So let's go open up our first instruction manual to see all the information inside. All right, for inside the instruction manual, we have these amazing images of the Venator throughout the Clone Wars in different languages. So if you want to pause and read, you can. So we will be going to the next page. The Jedi Cruiser, this is what it's mostly based off of. Speed, that is just really cool. I did not know that about the Venator. And some really cool pictures along with the Venator. Celebrating a Clone Wars icon. We got Captain Rex and Admiral Yularen, that Clone Wars 20th anniversary brick. And then for our next page, we have Hans Svensson and our designer of Jens, I believe his name is, and our galaxy. And then we have your right way how to pick up the Venator, pick it up from the middle, do not pick it up from the end. And then we start the Venator. So I'll check in with you guys when I'm all done. Alright, so after finishing the UCS Venator, we have our 2 minifigures. We have Captain Rex up first, that new clone helmet design. And although there has been controversy with this minifigure in hand, I think it looks great. And very happy that we do have a Captain Rex back in LEGO form, first time in a decade in that clone trooper uniform, not counting the one from Rebels. Then up next we have Admiral Wolf Yularen. He looks just incredible in his Admiral's uniform. Just looks amazing. Then what's really cool about this set, we have UCS Venator printed display plaque. It looks really nice with the manufacturer of Kuat Drive Yards, the affiliation of the Galactic Republic, length 1,137 meters, its crew 7,400. Its hyperdrive has a class of 1.0, and its mass acceleration is 3,000, and its weapons is very long of 8 heavy turbo laser turrets, 2 medium dual turbo laser cannons, 52 point defense laser cannons, 4 proton torpedo tubes, and 3 or 6 tractor beam projectors. So that is a lot. And then to round it all off, we have the Star Wars, the Clone Wars 20th anniversary brick in that 4x1x4 brick, which just looks amazing. Goes really well with the other bricks that we have had with the other anniversary bricks. So all in all, some really cool minifigures and display plaques. Now let's get into the build. Alright, since UCS Venator is so massive, I decided to do one side first, and then we'll move on to the other side with the back engines and all that cool stuff. But we'll be starting up front, where we have a really cool front where it brings all the angles of the Venator together, and it just looks incredible. We have the front hangar bay, which does not open. I'm completely fine with that, but that just looks amazing. Up to the dual bridges up here, we'll just get into in just a minute. We do have greebling details that match on both sides up here, which is really nice, and I do like the symmetry of it. And speaking of symmetry, these 2 greebling details between the 2 folded panels are the same. So what you see on this side will be reversed or mirrored on the other side. So there is a lot of really cool small little details. And then we do have this large turbo laser cannon. And then there are 2 stands to hold up the Venator, one right there and one right here. And there is a lot of studs on the bottom. So even though you don't see it, there's still a lot of studs. Then there's some depth detail right here of the open circle fleet symbol, which does look really nice even though it is a sticker. There is options out there on the market now for printed versions of this on that light bluish 6x6 tile. Then we have the 4 main turbo laser cannons, which are probably iconic to the Venator in its versions in the Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith. And then we have the mini model of the Republic gunship, which the designer of the set did make. So he did add his own little personal touch to it, which does look a little bit silly coming out of there, but it's pretty nice and all in good. And then over here, we do have that really nice striping detail on this side of the Venator, and it does look very nice as well. We'll be moving on to the engines, then we'll move on to the bridge. So the engines are really nice. They do not sag at all much. There's might be just a little bit of sag, but it does look really nice how they keep this engine from falling off. There is this section right there, which does keep it in place by using that Technic pin to keep it up, so that's ingenious. Then we have the kind of other engines, which this one does sag just a little bit, so does this one just a little bit, but all good. And we do have some portions to kind of close it up so you don't really see all the interior works of it, because the interior of this thing is very colorful. Then the back of the Venator does look really nice and imposing. And then you also have the other side of the engines right there, with the other side over there. It is in shadow because my studio lights, but what you see on this side is perfectly mirrored on this side. So moving on to the two bridges right here, you can see that we have the back coming up to the dual bridges, which are in bright red, or dark red actually, sorry, which is supposed to represent that this is a Jedi command ship, and normally this is Anakin Skywalker's ship. So there has been some speculation about what ship this is. Some speculation is, since Captain Rex and Wolf Yularen are in here, this will be General Anakin Skywalker's personal Jedi cruiser, which I cannot recall the name. I'll put it on screen right now, but it is really cool with that speculation. But all in all, the bridges look really nice, and I do like that they did use some illegal building techniques of putting the 1x4 dark red tiles and those 1x1 clip elements to kind of give that kind of ridge element right there. So that is now in legal building technique, not an illegal building technique. So you guys can now have fun with that one. And then moving on to the front right here, it does look really nice with all this awesome greebling detail. So all in all, a really amazing UCS Venator and a really fun build to boot. Thank you guys for joining me for this wonderful episode of Anthony's Brick Builds, where we took a look at the large UCS Venator from LEGO that came out in October as the staple set for 2023. This build was amazing, and it took me 12 and a half hours to build, so a pretty grueling build, but I do have to say the build kept you on your toes, and it was a really fun and engaging build, especially in the last bag where you pulled out Captain Rex, Yularen, the UCS plaque, and also the brick. So that was a really fun, really cool end part to the build. So thank you guys. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. May the Force be with you.